Blessed day, everyone. Welcome to Itswhenlightningstrikes. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to this circle. My name is Grace, and I will be your host. Yesterday, we started on the first teaching of the grandfathers, which is humility. And after contemplating this for a while, we're going to dig a little bit deeper into that before we move on to the second teaching of honesty. The reason for this is because this is such a critical teaching, such a critical concept, such a critical foundation that I feel like I need to dig deeper. So humility, as we know, is represented by our wolf relatives, and we touched on some things yesterday. It's probably best if you go watch that video. If you're already on this one and you haven't seen the other two, I would definitely recommend going back and watching those so that you have understanding of what we're doing and where we are. So if we look to our relatives, the wolf family that we have, they live in a pack. We've already discussed this. And I want to get into the pack a little bit more. So the pack is made up of many individuals of any varying numbers. And they may be biologically related, or they may not, or it may be a combination of both. It's also made up of, different ages. So we have, anyone from the wolf cubs, which would be the future generation, through the parents to potentially grandparents to uncles to aunts. The point being, we have multiple generations that are members of this pack who are all contributing and operating for the betterment of the collective. So what this speaks to is the importance of family. Not only the importance of family, but the importance of the future generation, the importance of the elders. And, members of the pack take care of their sick, they take care of their injured, they take care of their elders. And so even though a wolf may not be able to go out and hunt anymore, does not mean that they're not going to be cared for, because food will be brought to them. And so their role may change, and they may take on the role of a nurturer and a caretaker of the wolf cubs, which is an equally important role for the collective, because they are teaching, caring for, and nurturing the future generation of this pack or tribe. So if we translate this into our world, you got to start looking at how this is reflected, or basically not, in our society in this country. So as a nurse of many years, I know what happens to our elders, and they're not cared for by their families. I can tell you that, because I was taking care of them, and a lot of other people were taking care of them. So we probably most definitely need to improve upon how we treat our elders, and why in this society are they basically seemingly disposable, because they're not. They're invaluable. They're absolutely invaluable in teaching all of us the wisdoms that they've learned over 70, 80, 90 years. not only that, they're critical in really the appropriate growth and care and nurturing of our future generations. So definitely room for improvement here. The other thing I touched on yesterday, which is part of the pack mentality, is, selflessness. And I want to get into that quite a bit more. So being selfless does not mean you don't care about yourself. Once again, it just means that everything stops being just about you, and you are more of the mindset of thinking about the collective of all. So along with selflessness comes sacrifice and service. They can't be separated. They're a package deal. So if you're selfless, then you're bound to be of service. And if you're bound to be of service, then undoubtedly you are going to be making sacrifices in your service and in your selflessness for others. And these are all good things. And so this is some of the reflections and contemplations you need to be thinking about, not only in terms of the world, but more importantly, yourself. Are you selfless, or are you selfish? Are you of service to the collective, or are you only serving yourself? What are you willing to sacrifice, and who are you willing to sacrifice for? These are all good questions that every single one of us should have answers to. The other thing that goes along with being selfless and being in service and sacrifice are care and compassion, because you're not going to really sacrifice or be of service if you don't have compassion for and you don't care. You have to care to sacrifice. You have to care to be in service to. You have to care to have compassion for. So these are all super key concepts that all go with the medicine of our relatives, the wolf, and many, many others. It's a package deal here. So if you are truly a humble individual, meaning you are not thinking or acting in such a way that you are better to or superior to anyone else, these are the qualities that you're going to possess. And these are the qualities that are going to be helpful in identifying others who are also humble and operating in this manner. So there's a lot more to think about now. There's a lot more to reflect upon now. These are just core values, core ways of being. This is the foundation. Humility and all that goes with this, that we need to build ourselves upon. So unless I come up with more that requires another video, we will be moving on to honesty next. I thank you for joining me today on the channel where lightning is bound to strike. Until we come together again in this circle, please be well.